there's only one view.
Easy. Don't violate the
All right. Welcome to the podcast, everyone. Hopefully the echo is not too bad, but we are live at Mr. Max's house. They will be doing some drinking, but I got to be driving a lot longer than they do. So anyway, welcome to the podcast, Les. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing good. Happy to be here. I'm a little bit tired of this cold weather. I'm ready to get out and ride, but it seems like it's going to be a little longer before we can do that. So.
Yep. And then your wife's here, and then Connie's here, and she's watching the comments. So if you guys got anything to say or anything like that, please put something in the comments. Post something if you're in a different state. We're in Kentucky right now. If you're in Indiana or anywhere in the 50 states of America or even overseas, let us know. All right. Max, how you doing?
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the podcast. We're so glad to have you here. It's cold here in Kentucky, in northern Kentucky, greater Cincinnati area. But you know what? Wes and I are warm and toasty.
That's right.
We do not advocate drinking and riding on this channel. We just want to make sure everybody knows that. But since nobody's getting behind on a motorcycle tonight, here's to you, America.
We do have two announcements. One's going to be at the very end of this podcast, so wait and hear what we got to say there. And the other one is, we'll say something in a few. As you can see, Max, what kind of bike do you ride?
What I had before the accident in November was a 2019 Indian Roadmaster Elite, top of the line Indian's answer to Harley CVO. My bike had everything, and I'm so sad that it's gone.
What exactly happened?
I hit an oil slick.
Kleenexes? Anybody got any Kleenexes?
It's over on the table.
It's a sad part of the story.
Yes, it's a very sad part of the story.
Give me them Kleenexes. Here you go.
Okay, I was a mile away from home. I turned onto a side road where I did not see an oil slick that was as long as a semi-truck and trailer. I slid. I jammed my left leg down. I shattered my kneecap at the tibia. Microfractures in my left ankle at the tibia and fell over. But the amazing thing was this road was so slick from this oil that I had no road rash. None whatsoever, which is very unusual for this kind of accident. So that's what happened. And as you said last week on your bike, I've been riding for almost 35 plus years. I've had little scrapes and bumps here and there, but I have never gone down on a bike like that. There wasn't anything I could do. It was totally, before I knew it, the bike was out from under me. It was gone. So, dearly departed. I miss Bella a lot, but I'll be on another one someday here soon.
I heard it might be a lovely Challenger, folks.
It might be. I might decide to come up to the modern age. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah.
But it'll definitely be another Indian, I think.
So there's nothing you probably could have done to prepare it, right? I mean.
No. There wasn't any preparation for this. Like I said, I approach every intersection like somebody's trying to kill me. So I'm very cautious around intersections and circles and things like that. So it wasn't anything that anybody did. This was something that somebody caused.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything that anybody did. And certainly no driver error on my part. So.
Yeah, I know some. I drive kind of crazy, Les, around curves sometimes, don't you?
Sometimes, yeah, a little fast.
And you just don't think that's going to happen.
No, you really don't.
Yeah, you're not going to see there's going to be an oil slick on the side.
And the weird thing was, this is the road that we've all taken hundreds of times.
Sure.
Hundreds of times. On various runs by ourselves, everything else. This is a very popular shortcut road. But it's just on that day, on that particular time, something happened where there was an oil spill there, and I'm the one that got caught on it. By the way, what they do say is true. I was less than a mile from home, and it was my last ride for the year.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, it's horrible. No, the closest I've came in the last few years, we were out on Highway 10, coming around a turn, and there was a flattened out can in the road. And as I went around, my back tire went over it, and it caused it to slide. Luckily, the back tire hooked back up. But that was a close call on my part. I had my right foot down and probably would have had, a similar injury if the bike would have went on down. Thank God it didn't. Heather was with me at the time. But no, it's like you said, you're riding and then the bike's gone out from under you, and there's nothing that you can do, and you don't expect it. So certainly understand that.
Yes, but as I said, Bella's missed dearly. Like I said, I would have had her winterized and all that stuff, and trying to keep the wheels off the ground and various here and there, and all the stuff you talked about I usually do. So it's just one of those things. Unfortunate, but it happens. It happens to the best of us, and it happens when you least expect it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think your wife said, look at your phone.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I think you might be in trouble.
I might be.
He's drinking on the job over here.
Yeah,
or maybe text her and say, what did you need? Because she told me something on the stairs there.
She needs another Sprite out of the back cabinet.
I've never experienced anything like that, but I've only been riding for 3 years, Max. It's and unless you've been riding for how many years?
Since 1986. So I started in 1986, and I had my first wreck in 1986. Totaled my first bike in 1986.
Wow.
I was 19 and thought I was invincible, and had done a little work on the bike. Took it out for a little test ride. Wearing a pair of shorts and slip-on tennis shoes.
Oh man.
And kind of like you, the bike went out from under me, and I sat on my my right side for about 6 weeks because I ground my whole left side off.
Ouch.
Yeah. So
The infamous road rash.
Oh man, that was horrible. It was horrible.
Yep.
But
just checking on settings there.
so needless to say, I've never ridden in shorts and slip-on tennis shoes since. But again, that 1986, and I was 19 and invincible, right? So
Well, you heal faster too.
yeah.
Well, we're going to go with one of our first announcements, and then we'll get back in this discussion. I'm going to play a video here in a second. That way, let's see here. Let's get on the right screen here. I should have had my glasses on. I don't have my glasses on, but we're good. No, we're good. Wow.
Those are just readers, dude.
Yeah, these are readers. All right, let's get... Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Chris looks distinguished.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just got to make sure I get the right screen here. And let me go full screen here on this. All right, let me unlock this bad boy here. Unlock. Or hold on a second. I want to hide this anyway.
Are you qualified to be the media tech?
Oh,
Yeah.
not today.
Podcast.
Not today.
Just wondered about your credentials there.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. You probably could have.
Probably better.
Yeah.
All right. I want to mute our channel here. We are back, folks. Let me switch it.
We're back.
Yeah, we're back. Let me make sure we're on the right one here. All right.
So what did you just announce? What's the announcement?
Hey, so Indian is announcing some freaking bikes on January 21st.
Nice.
What do you think, Max?
Key words there are the new PowerPlus family. So all those rumors we've heard about a Batwing PowerPlus bike must be coming true. It kind of makes me sad because I kind of hope they don't do away with the Thunderstroke bike.
You know, I don't know if they can. I mean, that's the 111, the 116 is a really time-proven power plant.
Yes, it's bulletproof.
Yeah, and you know, and I think you have a lot of people out there that are really diehard air-cooled fans for whatever reason, and they've developed a big fan base for that particular engine. So,
I think it's the EPA that's causing that problem.
yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we can watch this movie one more time and make sure everybody sees this again. And let me switch it over. Playing some music that hopefully isn't copyrighted. Let's get this thing here. There's a back button right here. Come on. There we go. There it is.
That's a quick little video there.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is a really quick one. Oh, it's not over yet. It's still Power to Rome. That's what we're talking about. Indian. All right.
Man, they don't give you many clues, do they?
But the clue they did give was very significant.
So, one of the things I saw, they accidentally leaked a PowerPoint, folks, and they took it off as soon as they found out. You have a choice. The PowerPlus, you have a choice, and the older engine. So, you're going to have two versions of the Chieftain. They did not have anything on there about the Challenger, other than they showed a Challenger. What's up? What music?
Uh-oh.
Oh, you know what? Let me mute this system here. Yep. What about now? Can you hear us now? Technical difficulties here. I need a sound person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the podcast will be in need of a sound man real soon.
So it's a soundboard operator.
Kevin said music is still on. Can't hear you guys.
Oh, it's still. Well, it is delayed. I did turn off the system, so it was a YouTube video that autoplays. I hate when they have autoplay on, so that was my bad.
Kevin said, "There you go." Jennifer did too.
All right, there we go.
All right,
Yeah,
there we go. We're back.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Some difficulties. Sorry, folks. When you take the podcast from an environment that's been controlled and you don't have any issues, and you take it to another place, you're always going to have bugs, especially when you have cold weather like this. And I wasn't going to take two vehicles over here. I really don't need to explain myself, but
I sprayed for bugs. It's not my fault. It's off again.
The music's off, or we're completely off?
the music's all completely okay.
Well, that's what we want, right?
Yeah, we want. Yeah, so hopefully,
the music off.
yeah, so hopefully it's there.
Well, he can hear us because I can hear us on her.
Yeah,
on her
well,
phone
it's
over there,
delayed
so-
about 5 seconds.
Yeah.
We
should be good.
We can hear that in the mic too. So this, okay, gotcha. All right, so we should be good. I'm seeing the levels on the actual software. So, and I should be able. Let's see. I should hear. Yeah, I hear myself over here, so we should be good.
Okay. But getting back on subject,
Yeah.
I don't think they'll mess with the Challenger. As far as no, that bike was designed as everybody in the world well, it's the worst kept secret in the world. That bike was originally intended to be a Victory. So it's very Victory-like in its body frame and its style, and the engine was supposed to be for a Victory. So no, I don't think they're going to change the Challenger Pursuit line anytime soon. It's winter chicken dinner for them. You know, it kind of reminds me of the people, because like I said, 2019, I got a bike with an old style fairing and the valance fenders that looked like an Indian. Okay, then people complain and yell, I don't like them big fat fenders and this, that, and the other. When you got to modernize and everything like that, then they came out with the new design with the chop fairing, which as Les will tell us, Didn't do anything for wind coverage whatsoever.
Yeah, no. I went from a 17 Roadmaster, the classic style with the balanced fenders and that, and bought a 23 Limited. And I only rode it for about 3,500 miles and traded it in on a 24 Roadmaster with a classic styling again. Just did not like the Limited with the difference in the fairing and the smaller fender, and the wind management was different. And I think you rode one, right, during the demo days?
Yes.
You got to experience a little bit of that wind management differential. So
I wasn't a fan.
yeah, so newer is not always better, but it's personal preference, right?
Yeah, I mean, but given the choice, if I'm looking for a used Elite, that's what I might have to settle for. I mean, when you look at the Elites that have come out in the Chieftain line, they've all been of the modern style. It's just now with the Roadmaster, they've gone back to the throwback style. So I don't know. And then when they came out with the new style, everybody complained about them. Oh, it looks too much like a street light. Harley clone this. You copied Harley this, that. So, I mean, you can't win.
It just comes down to you don't have to worry about what everybody else thinks, right?
In the end, no. If you like it, you spent your money, you ride what you want.
Ride what you want, right? Yeah, like I say, I just my experience, I didn't like it as well, just from a performance perspective on the wind management side. Now the drivetrain and everything's the same. Had the 116 in it, and as far as that goes, had the sport modes, ran good, no problem with that. Just didn't like it over the road as much, and that several times a year, that's what Heather and I tend to do is take a long trip, and on those long trips, a little bit of difference in the way the bike protects you makes a big difference.
Now, do you think the Roadmaster Classic will get this engine? Probably not, right?
Oh, I don't
Down
know.
the road, maybe, but not. They've already brought the model year out for this year.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, I don't know. The Roadmaster Classic, I think, is tried and true with the Thunderstroke engine. But the thing is, though, what I'm afraid of is they're going to phase it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, having that the PowerPlus is liquid cooled, right?
Right.
That might be a plus to have it in a Roadmaster frame from a touring perspective, and that for the heat management side. I've not decatted mine or anything like that, and it does get a little bit hot. So
Yeah.
having a liquid cooled option in that frame might be a good idea for some.
Well, considering I did decap mine, so before I even took it out on the road, do that crossover, dude, and it did cool it off significantly. Okay, but the fairing, when you angle them the right way, you really don't notice it unless it gets really above 85, 87 degrees. And then, like I said, if I hadn't wrecked it, what my next purchase would have been? One of those Ultra Cools that would have cooled off my oil with one of their filters. I think that would have been a wise investment on my part. Older bike, need to keep the engine cool. Of course, I'm using premium oil anyway. Spectral, for all you people don't remember. So, I thought, why not spend this kind of money and protect the bike and protect my investment versus... But anyway, it's a moot point now. If they're coming out with the liquid cooled PowerPlus, if I had hair, I'd be ripping it out right now.
So one of our announcements is I talked to Aaron. We're going to be there on Friday when it's announced. I haven't decided. Well, we'll get some more details as it gets closer to there. It's in 9 days, I think. 9 days, and we might be it might be a late night show on Friday, or it could be around 11 o'clock a.m. kind of show. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
When I can get
And what's the day they're announcing the new Harleys?
the day before. Yeah. So I think the Chief's going to change a little bit too with the PowerPlus. I think it might have an option.
Yeah, I think it might have an option too.
And I did see there was some guy in Australia that I guess has a fairing that is similar to the the Lowrider ST on a Chief.
Oh, really?
Yes, he was like driving around. And I thought maybe it was the aftermarket. Nobody's really talked about it. Maybe it's not. And it looks like the Chief is going to get a sound system because on that PDF it showed speakers on the motorcycle. So that means there's going to be a fairing option probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
that'd
Chief.
have to be. And it'd have to be a decent size, too.
Mm-hmm.
But then that's what I was screaming before when we did the show at the showroom the last time. And everybody kind of poo-pooed me. There is no Indian answer for the Lowrider ST. There is none. Okay?
Yeah, you're right.
The Chief answers the bike, but nothing answers the fairing because the fairing is that little bullet fairing that means nothing to nobody. The wind deflection you get is minimal at best.
Yeah, it looks kind of cool, right?
Right. But there's a lot of people on YouTube that are getting these Lowriders STs, calling it my mini bagger, where you can switch out the stock bags and put regular performance bags on them. That increases your storage space, number one. Or you can go the aftermarket route with Viking or any of the other types of bags out there and increase your storage space because the clamshell bags, which, by the way, reminds me of my old Kawasaki Vulcan 1500 because those were clamshell bags too. You can pack them, but you ain't going to be sure if it'll hold or not. Because
Might pop
that thing
open.
might go poop, and there goes your stuff down the highway.
Yeah.
Never happened to me, but I've heard it happening. But yeah, there needs to be an answer to the Lowrider ST. It's a very popular model for Harley. It really is. I mean, I can't say if I wasn't an Indian lover that I wouldn't be looking at one.
Yeah, I looked at them at the guys' night we went over a few weeks ago and checked out the line, and it's a nice looking bike. Nice looking bike for sure.
Yeah, so let me switch over to the other screen here real second because I do have the PowerPoint up. And let's see how it is here. We don't have us on there, but we can talk about it here in a second. I know you guys can't see it, but last time, as you can see, there's I wish I could turn this thing around so you can see it. We're going to have to get a screen one of these days. There's what is that? What's that bike right there? I'm blind. I can't even see here.
Oh my God. Here!
All right.
God bless America.
All right, so as you can see, right here's the new the Roadmaster, or what do you call it, the Chieftain? I guess it's the Roadmaster, I guess you can say. Yeah, it has 800 watt, if upgraded, at all locations. PowerPlus models only. That's 800 watts, so it's definitely coming.
800 watts would definitely be a Roadmaster because a regular Chieftain wouldn't have that many speakers.
Yeah. So the Roadmaster, and then the PowerPlus is coming to the Chieftain also. I guess it's going to be an add-on too. So 2020 to 2025, Indian Springfield Dark Horse, it's going to be able to have speakers on it. It looks like it's only going to be rear speakers on the side. Yeah,
Right, on the saddlebags, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
And then we got the Challenger Pursuit. And if you look at that motorcycle, it doesn't look like there's much changing to it. I can't tell by the fairing, but the 800 watt upgrade is going to be there. And then the Chief is going to have a front speaker, looks like here, for power band. And it looks like 90 watts. You know, it's going to be a high mount, low mount, quarter fairing mount, wiring harness. And this is all the part numbers.
90 watts, huh?
Yeah, 90 watts.
They're going to give you a transistor radio and a couple wire ties. On
Or Bluetooth where they just plug it in and
Yeah.
yeah, you'll never hear it on the highway, but it's something if you're just cruising.
Yeah, that's my problem. I can't hear the radio now when I'm on the highway unless I turn it up so high it distorts.
But the thing is, though, here's the thing. If you look at the Lowrider ST and their sound system, even with the upgraded Harman Kardon system, it's about the same thing. Because the speakers are so small, you're not going to really get clarity. And you're not going to hear it at highway speeds.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, I actually looked at upgrading my speaker system, and they recommended that you do the fronts and the back. But I took my tour pack off, So I don't want to flip for the front and the back sets. I mean, they're expensive.
Oh, exactly.
But
Were you looking at Davidson Audio, or were you looking at somebody else?
Just the Indian upgrade with the plug and play powered speakers.
Well,
It's probably cheaper to go Davidson.
yeah. Don't. You know, I love Indian. If you're looking for new ambassadors, we're right here.
Yeah, we're right here.
But no, don't upgrade with Indian equipment for your sound system. Contact Davidson Audio and look at their stuff online. Look at their YouTubes. Riding Fish has updated his sound system. His bros have updated their sound system. Kevin, that one guy with Black Candy, he, instead of going the performance route like Fish did, went straight to Davidson Audio. They put bass speakers in his bags. They put the mid-ranges in the tops of his bags. I mean, that boy's winning sound contests. I saw a video where he was winning one. And that's great if that's what you want to do. I'm more about making the bike run as
Or
best
travel.
as it can.
You want to put
Yeah.
some stuff
Sure.
in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to be able to hear it when I go down the interstate because I spend a significant amount of time.
And I'm
Taking
surprised
trips.
because my 2019, that bike, I had, the loudest I've ever had it was on 5.5, and that was at 85 miles an hour going down the expressway, and I could hear every damn word clear.
Was that the upgraded speaker system?
No, that was the 2019 system before they switched over to the new system.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it might be different.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I know a lot of people. I know you guys are like half helmet, half helmet.
Yeah.
I wear a full helmet, and I have audio inside mine, so I really don't care if it's like blowing when I'm going 80 miles per hour. I can hear it in my helmet. So a lot of people are like that. So it's a 50-50 kind of, I guess, rider environment. Cardo is what I use.
Sure.
Some people use Cena.
Some people do both. And the thing is, though, like I said, but here's the thing. There's a lot of auto shops in business. I mean, there's Sinister Sound right here in town that does one hell of a job. I've known those guys for at least a decade. And for Harleys, they do a great job. I don't know how they do on an Indian, but, that's only because nobody's ever thought about bringing an Indian to them, or maybe they have. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I've actually talked to them. They were looking into it. They just wanted to see how many Indians are in this area on the road and that kind of stuff. He wanted some numbers, and I couldn't give them to him. But I actually met him, and also he said we could go down there and do the podcast anytime. So he's got a nice place down there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a little bar down there with 4 chairs. I mean, I got actually a video I've never put up. I'm going to put up pretty soon. I've been holding it off for the winter just because there's nothing really to do other than do videos, no riding because it's too cold out there or too much ice on the road. And I don't like riding with salt on the road. So,
That's dangerous.
yeah.
But the thing is, though, again, Sinister Sound here locally, and then you've got your various auto sound places around that can do bikes. But then the two I've noticed on YouTube a lot is Volunteer Audio down in Tennessee. They do only Harleys.
Yeah.
Okay, they did Traveling Tall. They did a spot for Billy Lane. They did a lot of stuff for a lot of people. And their sound systems, from what I can understand, watching on the phone, not plugging it into a real stereo, look and sound great.
Yeah.
And then there's Davidson Audio, who does Indian. Again, they look and sound great. Okay, I don't have any real experience with them, but Fish does because he's running one of their systems. He'd be happy to tell you about Davidson Audio.
What I understand, they're very good. They're very good. Everybody I've heard, and I've been to a couple bike things that you guys haven't been to, and there was a couple bikes there with Davidson Auto, and it was pretty nice. Nice.
No, I mean it's good now that you have some aftermarket options because on the 17 that I had, you couldn't do anything to it. There was just really nothing available. You couldn't even get an Indian upgrade for it.
Yeah.
So no, it's good to have something now that you have a few options.
So what does Indian have to do to get more people riding them? I mean, do they have to look for the younger, the ones that are just coming up? Because it's hard to switch a Harley person. They're in, because we say this in the chat all the time, is that they're invested, or I guess you can say the best in the Harley-Davidson system. I mean, they could come for your house. If you trade up for a Harley-Davidson, I mean, I know some people have one they've had for 2018. They still have it. But there's a lot of people I know that's trade up for a Harley-Davidson, and they're in the hole pretty deep. And them bikes just keep on getting more expensive. Hopefully, we'll see how Indian does on next Friday, what their prices do. But I know a few people that they could never trade anything right now because they're just too far in debt with the Harley-Davidson.
Yeah, I never got that far. The last Harley I bought, I think, was 2015, somewhere around in there. It was a 2012 Street Glide, and it was used. So I never got that far into one. But I some friends that have tried to make some trades here recently, and looking at some of the numbers they've tossed out, you'd have to throw in your car and your kids as collateral. Some of the numbers I've seen. So
well, don't get me wrong, Harley-Davidson's new Road Glide and Street Glide are fantastic, beautiful bikes. I'm telling you right now,
they really are.
And I mean, I would get one in a heartbeat if I didn't have an Indian Challenger. And my wife's got a Harley-Davidson shirt on right now. She's looking at a Lowrider ST, and they're getting ready to announce that on the 23rd, the day before Indian. So we'll see what happens.
Well, Chris saw a Harley shirt, and that's why he took the job of a soundboard operator away from her tonight.
Yep, I was out.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, guys, in the end, it doesn't matter what you ride, just as long as you ride. Yes, there's going to be some good-natured ribbing back and forth. There always has been. There always will be. But it's just one of those things. You like what you like. You spend your money, your hard-earned dollar, on what you like. So as long as you like it and as long as you ride it, who the heck gives 2 pennies worth of if they ride it? I'm trying to be politically correct here.
YouTube thanks you.
Yes, because normally I'd have 2 big hand signs up. You don't like my bike? I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't ride the same brand as you do? I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, you go do a bike night. Somebody come with your bike and say, "Oh man, that's a beautiful Indian. That's a beautiful Indian," or that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's just hard it seems like a Harley-Davidson has a cult, and it just can't get away from it. And we need more. Altogether, we need more people out there riding. That makes people pay attention more to motorcyclists because they see them more all the time. And I think what's happening is that us are getting older, and there's not many people riding motorcycles, and we need to get more out there where they don't think, their mom says, "You ain't gonna be caught on a motorcycle or 2 wheels." You know how dangerous them things are? They're not really dangerous unless you're really fooling around, Yes, there is people you got to watch out for, but if you're not doing wheelies and doing donuts in the middle of the street, they're not really dangerous as long as you be careful and watch out for anybody that's traveling in front of you and that kind of stuff. But
you have to treat every intersection like everybody in that intersection is trying to kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay?
Yeah.
Just slow down, take your time.
Yep.
In fact, Cycle Fanatic's son, I was watching him the other night. He T-boned a car that turned left in front of him. He couldn't do anything. He had the green light. He had the right-of-way. He was not speeding. No skid marks. Just boom, because the lady turned in front of him.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people that are just quit riding because they said there's too many distracted drivers out there.
Yes.
And they are kind of right. You never know.
On the way over here, what we encountered?
What?
A lady coming down 50.
Oh, going 20 miles per hour on her cell phone.
Yes, Lord.
And she was like 50 years old.
I don't even want to tell you how crazy that made Lisa on the back of my bike.
Yeah.
Just made her crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I drove to Indiana for about 1.5 years back and forth for work, 4 days a week. And I cannot tell you the number of times on 74 going up I-65, I would see people literally driving like this on their phone. Literally, their head was down, and they would glance up every once in a while, but they're going down the interstate doing that.
Yeah. It's a shame. And another thing, what we're really going to talk about tonight, and we got to get going on it because we're going to be running out of time, is why ain't there any motorcycle shows, Max? Back in the day when you was doing it, man, they were everywhere.
Yes, they were. Back in the late 80s and the early 90s, you had a plethora of dealer-only shows that were dealer-only and name-only because everybody and their mother was in that convention center. Perfect example is the late and lamented Easy Rider V2N Expo that used to be right here in Cincinnati at the Exposition Center. I went down there for years. I'd always heard about it. Then I started working for the magazine, went down there. I had already made some contacts. They introduced me some other contacts, and the word of mouth got around. And, hey, this guy's a cool guy. He's a good interviewer. You know, make sure you give him 5 minutes. People were, at the end of it, by the end, people were coming up and asking me, hey, you coming by my booth today, right? I mean, I can't tell you the opportunities that opened back then. I mean, for God's sake, a slub like me, reading Easy Rider, Iron Horse, Cycle Source, every bike magazine I could get my head, because that was the era of the magazine, to grab information. And here I am meeting Arlen Ness, the godfather of choppers. If you can imagine that, I mean, my heart stood still. It's Dave Perowitz. I met him. It's just crazy, the people that I met, the dealers of the, that's how I met Jamie at Cardo for the first time. Yusua, the batteries guys. I've got a stack of business cards up there like this. If I ever really needed something, all I have to do is make a phone call.
Yeah.
I made a phone call for the slip-ons for my bike down to RC Components for an RC exhaust slip-ons. Guy was really, Max, you finally got an American bike here. Let me help you. I mean, it's great. But the thing is, though, that was a dealer-only show, but I saw everybody down there. And then they had Easy Rider shows up in Columbus and Louisville and everywhere else. Bike shows, those are nice. I mean, we have the Rhine Guys show here. It's a bike show. People are showing their bikes, showing what craftsmanship they did. It's not something that's showing you a new product or a new bike or something like that. I'm quoting off of a RevZilla article by Dustin Whelan. Will consumer-facing motorcycle shows ever return to the United States? My answer is probably not.
Why is that?
I just don't think there's a market for it anymore. I mean, as Chris said, when you go to a motorcycle show these days, it's a custom show. It's people showing stuff. I get invites all the time to the AIM Expo out in Vegas. Now, AIM used to be up in Columbus.
Yes.
And that was fine. Wes, my buddy, who was my cameraman, who absolutely refuses to work for you.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Yeah, absolutely refuses. You can't make it worth his while.
It's the pay.
And he lives in Indiana Bayou. He's right up the street. I don't know why he won't work for you, but he won't.
Look at all this equipment. My
Yeah,
gosh.
I know. He could have a field day. But anyway, we used to go to that show and find out all kinds of stuff because AIM is one of those expos that all the major players show up at. You have the aftermarket guys. You've got the Eagle Riders. You've got Harley there. You've got Suzuki there. You've got Kawasaki there. You had Indian there. You had a lot of people there where you could gain a lot of information, and I did. But then when AIM moved west out of this central area, I couldn't follow. I had a job back then.
Sure.
So,
Now, that's the one in Las Vegas, right?
yes, that's the one in Las Vegas.
So
it's the one I keep telling you about.
Yeah, so I went to the website there, and it seems like it's only open to the public only a couple of days, and it's in the middle of the week, and then it's over on Friday.
That's why you get a press pass.
I know, but I mean, it's weird how the actual, I mean, they're saying you can leave on Saturday. I guess the vendors can leave on Saturday and Sunday. It's kind of weird that the event is actually in during the week, and that's it.
Because it's a dealer show.
Dealer show. I got you.
February 5th through the 7th.
Yeah.
They
Again, I can't even begin to tell you how much information and how invaluable it is to even get your name out there, get your foot in the door. And like I said, I know it would do you a lot of good if you went, but again, it's Vegas and it's a commitment. Because like I said, you put yourself down for a press pass, you're going to have to go. Okay, and I don't mean just once.
You have to go a lot. Now, Riding Fish says, Riding Fish is on there, and we also have 859 group. They're going to be on the podcast in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. What up, Fish?
Yeah, Fish, we got to get you back on the podcast somewhere in February so we can talk about the bike. He's got a bike for auction.
Yes.
And
that's going to have a rear sound system done by Davidson Audio.
It's a beautiful bike, man, and give him props there.
He was having some work by Lloyd's. I think.
Yes,
Put some cams.
Yes, he did. 585 cams. That bike's going to be a screamer.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. And we'll get you back on the podcast. Maybe we'll get you right before you have to go up there. Well, we'll talk. I'll text you. But that bike. It's a Springfield, folks, and it's like a American Captain America. I don't know what we never got to choose the name. Riding Fish. What is the name? Tell us what the name is.
I still think it's going to go on Steve Rogers. That's his favorite. And if you know, you know. But yeah, Captain America would be a perfect name for that bike.
Yeah. So that's at the end of the week. What auction is that again? I can't remember.
The Meacham auction.
Yeah. So the Meacham auction, and it's at a hotel there. I can't remember what the hotel is, but it's going on auction, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Thursday or Friday.
Friday, I believe.
Friday.
I believe.
I wish I could make it out there riding fish. I just don't have the funds at this time. And my buddy can fly out there for free, but I just couldn't fly out there for 2 days. It costs more than all his equipment in this room.
I keep telling Chris, get a credit card with airline points.
I will. I'm gonna do that.
So going back to the shows, you guys talked about, and I also messaged and sent you information on the Indianapolis Motor Show, which, granted, the motorcycle section up there is small, but it's something. It's not the whole show.
Yeah.
It mainly deals with 4x4s, different kind of motor vehicles.
Sure.
But there's a motorcycle section, and I'm willing to bet that you could probably make some contacts up that way.
Yeah, we plan on going there, and I think, are you going to be able to go?
My leg, I don't know if I'm able to walk yet. I mean, I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it.
You was pushing a table around.
Yeah, I'm trying to do physical therapy. I'm glad Lisa wasn't here and saw me doing that.
Oh, yeah. I hope she's not watching.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
You're in the doghouse now.
Yeah, I'm in a doghouse anyway.
We could get you one of them little electric scooters with a cart on the with a basket on the front.
Yeah,
we can put your nameplate on it.
The Max.
Oh, my gosh. So have you been to that show?
Yes, we've attended that show in the past, but it's been a decade since I've been there.
Now, I guess there is a boat show going at the same time.
Yep. And Sport and Power Show.
Yeah, so I don't know which one's going to be better. Now, to go back to the AIM, I went to the floor to see what all the vendors are on there, and there's a big vendor in there with that new motorcycle that Northern Kentucky has.
Moto Marini?
Moto Marini. They have a big section. I did not see one Harley-Davidson. I didn't see one from Indian at all.
And sometimes they don't show.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do. And those kind of shows are hit and miss. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't.
Yeah. When I was at the show up north of here, I think Benelli was there, CF Moto, maybe at the time. There were some of the, I'll call them brands that were trying to make inroads back into the U.S. That were there. I didn't see any of the real big players, but some of the slingshots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Slingshots were there. Some of those types of vehicles, but the motorcycle section was relatively small.
Now, do you think it's because the cost of these things?
Ooh.
I mean, it has to take a lot of money to set these bikes up, put all this material
Well, sure
up.
it does, but you know what? How much money does Harley spend at Sturgis?
That's what I'm saying.
How much money does Indian spend at Sturgis?
So is that the closest, I guess you could say, show there is?
No. Any of the bike rallies, right now, the bike rallies are the most public forward thing you're going to get to try and demo a new bike, to see a new bike, a new model bike. Because if you go to any of the big three, if you go to Daytona, Oktoberfest is in there, Daytona Biketoberfest. If you go to Laconia, which is up in New England, up in New Hampshire, if you go to Sturgis, those are the big three. You are going to find major market Harley-Davidson representation, major market Indian representation. Now, like I said, we went to Gettysburg last year, and the demo truck was there, but they didn't have anything absolutely new that you could try, although one of our group was real interested in the Challenger. I don't know if his wife's going to let him do that, but I said, dude, get the hell off that Scout and get on the Challenger.
That was a real fun event.
Yes.
So do these, I guess what I'm saying is that motorcycle companies, do they kind of consider all these bike rallies their show now?
That's hard for me to say because I'm not in PR.
Yeah.
I wish I was. I wish I had the answer. But to me, as a consumer, I know that if I want to go to see the latest and greatest, I'm either on YouTube, which really doesn't show you all that much,
it does, and you don't get the touch,
I'm
you don't
going
get
to
the
my
look.
dealer, or I'm planning on going to a bike rally where I can see some actual stuff.
You think that's why some of the popularity of some of these shows, like maybe AIM, maybe that's not a good example, but has diminished so much because now you just jump on the internet and you can look at anything you want to find, any kind of reviews on exhaust, sound systems, whatever it is, accessory items. Do you think that that's a good part of it?
Well, we all know that the YouTube and the internet killed all the bike magazines. There's only one or two left. And like I said, let me quote this article real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
May 2022, the International Motorcycle Show, 40-year run abruptly ended. IMS organized not only canceled the 2022 tour, but also nixed plans for any future event. The absence of the IMS is still felt today. They used to run the show up in Cleveland where you could watch the big models go. And like I said, AIM Expo hopes to draw both industry insiders and general public to Las Vegas by partnering with the One Moto Show and the Baja Film Festival this year. Historically, AIM welcomed both industry members with opening days for dealers and others who worked in the industry, followed by a day open to consumers. That all changed during the pandemic. In 2020, the trade show closed its doors to the public. That same year, IMS suspended its nationwide tour due to restrictions on public gatherings. The show returned in 2021, but not in its traditional format. So again, and the article goes on and on. It's a good read on RevZilla's Common Thread site. It's a good read, and it gives some answers. But again, you asked the question about the internet and YouTube and the computers. Yeah, I'd say maybe it's a contributing factor. Do I think it caused complete downfall? No, I don't. You got to remember, it's, as we've talked about, it's very expensive to go to a show, staff it, and have your people there tied up for a weekend.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I always marveled that the people had as many people there as they did. And I'm talking about staffed.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah, I can remember not within the motorcycle industry, but another company I worked for. They would attend a big annual show down Louisville, and I remember the booth space alone was $50,000.
Yep.
Just to get the booth space. Now it was an oversized, area, but just to get that. So if you calculate that and the expense to send people there, the hotel cost, you have a dozen or more people to populate this booth and keep it manned throughout the whole show. So it is a great expense, not only just to get the spot, but then to get the personnel there to manage it.
All right, so I got a couple comments here.
Okay.
Let me catch up here. Behind the Bars, 859 says there's a motorcycle and power sports show in Indianapolis. Yep, we talked about that one.
Yep.
Mark says, make sure to go, all right, like and share the podcast. Exactly right. And then just go to the AIM show. You'll love it. So I guess he's been there before. So we'll have to get you back on the podcast there, Mark. Behind the Wheel, Riding Fish goes, what are you thinking about the Harley-Davidson dropping on the 23rd and IMC on the 21st? 24th, yeah, 24th. So the day after. They got something big planned.
Yeah, they do. And it's just the way things fall because traditionally, from when I can remember, even from their opening salvo, from Victory to the Indian Genesis, they've always been behind Harley for a day or two. Harley announces their new stuff, then Polaris announced theirs. So I guess it's just the way it is.
So he said, you should trust a YouTuber, exclamation mark. I don't know what that meant, that it's going to be good.
Oh, man. I'm not going to go there.
We're not going to ask you no questions because that's the way. I know you're an Indian ambassador. I'm going to get you in trouble here. But maybe if you're free that Friday, maybe we can get you on the podcast. That might be something cool, too. We'll check on the 21st. You might be too busy riding fish, but let us know. But I'm gonna be live at Indian. That's one of my announcements on that Friday, the 24th, and we're gonna have some fun. Behind the Bars said there are so many Harley-Davidson shops now with all the models. There's no need for a Harley-only show. Exactly right. And you just go down the road, there's a Harley. You go down across the river, there's a Harley. You go a little bit north, there's a Harley. You go left, there's a Harley. Harley-Davidson is everywhere, and I think that's the reason why them dealerships are in bad shape right now. They're hurting. There's just too many of them.
And that's always been a knock against Indian, that there's not enough dealerships.
Yeah.
I've never found that to be true because every major city that I've gone to, first off, I've never had my Indian break down on me in the middle of Timbuktu. That's number one. Number two, any destination I was going to, there was always an Indian dealer there.
Yep.
Okay. So I never worried about it.
Yeah.
Same experience.
I've
never needed one.
Yeah. Never had nothing wrong with my bike. I rode it pretty hard sometimes. Nothing's ever broke. Thank God.
But like Les has said on numerous occasions, when he takes that long trip to Sturgis, he's getting his bike serviced beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You're going to change that oil before you go. You're going to change that oil when you get back.
You need to take care of the bike.
Yeah. It's an investment.
Yeah.
Nowadays, hell, your bike's a small car. You can buy a Corolla for what you spent on an Indian or Harley.
Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we all know that you take it to get an oil change at a dealership. It's going to cost you around $200 to $300, maybe $400, just according to how many miles you got on it. Sometimes you got to get the forks redone and stuff like that. But it's an investment. Unless when you go trade it in and you don't have any of that paperwork, they're going to look at your bike and going to take $1,000 off of it because they have no idea how well it's been taken care of. If you've been to every time it needed an oil change, it got its oil change. But that's my advice: is get it done.
Well,
make sure you document it.
I'm not going to throw out numbers here, but I am going to tell you the story because of my dearly late and departed 2019 Bella. I actually got above ACV on it, which I had actually run a month and a half before the accident happened. Do you know why? Exactly the reason that you said. Our Indian dealership here had every receipt, item, and everything else from every paperwork, every computer record, everything since the day I bought that bike, what I had done to it, upgraded to the 116 kit, every oil change, every tire change, every accessory, either Indian or non-Indian, that I put on that bike, they had a record for because they did it all.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So yes, it worked out for me. I can't emphasize that enough. Just keep your records, folks, because you never know when you're going to need them.
Yep, I totally agree with that. All right, so we've talked about the shows.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the new release, hopefully. I understand that there's supposed to be 3 brand new motorcycles released from Indian this year. I don't know what they are. Now, they could be just new models, what they consider an upgrade to a new engine as a new bike. So, I don't know.
They're going to call it a new name.
Yeah, they're going to call it a new name. So, but let's see.
It's going to be awful crowded at the dealership these next couple of months. Woo! Les and I are toasting.
Yeah.
We're warm and toasty.
Yeah, you guys are drinking crazy.
Mine's empty.
So Riding Fish is, I think that the dealerships
empty.
being
Yeah, well, I
owned
can't pour
by
anything online.
the big companies might make it hard. RumbleOn and Ride Now, they are changing the game. Exactly, they are. I mean, they're getting too big. They're starting to monopolize most of the area. They're kind of like, and I think what's going to happen to them, just like what happened to CarQuest. You know, they went to every city. They were the person that give you the most money for your trade, but they wouldn't take any too late of a model. But they will give you the best money for your trade, and then they'll sell you a brand new car. But I think, as CarQuest, not CarQuest, but what is that one up there?
Carvana?
Carvana, yeah. And what's the other one that's up there? It used to be
CarMax.
CarMax, yeah.
CarMax, yeah.
CarMax. It's kind of like what they are, RumbleOn and the other sister company, because they're both the same companies. Some of them own Harley-Davidson, some of them own Indians, and most of them own Hondas, Suzuki, and all that kind of stuff. So if you went in there and traded your bike, like if I took my Vulcan S there, they probably would give me the most money for it because they could sell it. They don't have to go take it to auction. They don't have all them fees and stuff like that. And they are changing the game. You're exactly right. Mm-hmm. It's kind of sad because the mom and pops, you got that family. Because every time I went into one of the RumbleOn stores, or I guess it's Cincinnati of Indian, which is not a bad store. I'm not knocking or anything else. Everybody that works there is from North Carolina, Kansas City, that kind of stuff. You don't really have that home atmosphere like you do at like a mom and pop store.
Right.
So, but that's how they train them. They train them and they move them to another state, and then they become the manager of the store, and then they move whoever they trained there to another state. It's kind of strange, but yeah, that's how they work. So, you guys drinking up, huh? What happened? There's only one.
I got water.
You got water now?
I have water.
Yeah, water.
All right, so I do have a slight. Let's see, what time is it? How long have we been here?
We're coming up on the 1 minute mark of 1 hour.
1 hour. So, So what else do you got to talk about, Max?
Hey, it's an hour. I'm good.
Max, it's time. It's almost his bedtime. He almost going to go to bed.
Yeah, us old folks. Yeah.
Les, you got anything?
No, I really don't. I said it at the beginning. I'm ready to get out and ride. I can't stand this cold weather, and I'm ready to get out there.
Well, you didn't mention I still have my biker Christmas tree up, and it's pretty festive down here in the man cave. So there you go.
Yeah.
I forgot. I got to make you an ornament for that.
Okay.
Yeah, we need
I'll be looking forward to it.
I got some ideas already.
All right.
And he does have official Indian clock over there, which is fabulous. I wish I'd had that into the view. I want that for Father's Day, by the way. But you know what? I wanted some, saddlebag, liners, but I never got them for Christmas either,
That's because you had to put tires on her Jeep.
Yeah, I know.
We talked about that.
That things were expensive. Let's see what else we got here. Riding Fish here, 100%. Gotta catch up with these things, and I'll make the special announcement here in a minute. It's gonna be great.
The suspense is killing me, man.
Yeah, the suspense is killing you.
I'm sitting on pins and needles.
The craziest thing is they are the same company, and they own the most Harley-Davidson and also Indian Motorcycles corp dealerships, I believe. I think you're right. I went in there and I did check their website, and it is crazy. Well, you got anything?
No, I'm going to tell everybody what you do. He sends us all texts going, I got a big announcement tonight.
Yeah.
And then he makes us wait all day long.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right, so you guys can all just click and close the browser after I make this announcement. Okay. My wife's going to take over the podcast, and just kidding. We are going to be changing up the podcast a little bit. We do have Joe next week. Going to be on the podcast. That's going to be a great one. Joe Go.
Joe Go.
From Cleveland. It's going to be awesome. That's going to be a great podcast. Please tune in. I think the week after that, I will have the 859 boys on and the guys on the podcast. In between that, we'll have the Indian motorcycle dealership, releases, and hopefully I'll see what I got to work on the day before. We might talk about both of them because I'll be working late on Thursday night probably, so I won't have the Harley-Davidson stuff out, but the Indian stuff I will. On Friday, we'll probably talk about both announcements on that day. We'll be at the dealership, so I don't know if Indian will like that. But
so what are you doing in your spare time?
What am I doing in my spare time? I'm
Working
hard every day, working a full-time job and doing this on the side, having some fun.
Hear that, boss? He's working.
But the biggest announcement.
Is this the one you texted us about? Yeah. You got away.
Connie, you want to tell him?
Is Connie expecting?
No.
Congratulations, Chris.
I'll bring up cigars.
I hope not. But February 11th, we'll have Adam Sandoval on the podcast.
Oh, wow. Cool.
February 11th. So they have agreed, and we will. We got the details. We're still working out, but they announced it today. I told them I would go ahead and. They said they would do it on 11th of February. I'm kind of nervous about this. Hopefully he doesn't ghost me after this. But we're gonna have Adam Sandoval on the podcast. Sandoval. Okay, I'm sorry, Sandoval. I'm very bad at pronouncing names, so please don't hold that against me. That's what you're here for. That's right. Connie's here to.
Better you than us.
But it's going to be a great podcast. The details will, the closer we get, the more details we'll be putting out. We also got a lot of invites out there to a lot of people, BP Customs, kind of.
See if you can add Official Mac to the list.
Official Mac to the list. We'll reach out to him. Riding Fish, hopefully we'll get back on here again. And then I got one other big YouTuber also that's in sometime in the end of March. I can't really
you're not
release
going to tell us, right?
I can't release that one yet.
No.
I got to keep this stuff going. You got to keep watching every week, folks.
It means they haven't gotten back to him yet.
They have got back. We were talking back. I can't really say why there's a time frame that's in between. It's because it's something they're doing on their end that they want people to be special about. And then when they're done with that, then we're going to be open to discussion a date.
Well, cool.
So.
Sounds like you got a lot of good content coming up.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
Didn't you say Cyclonetics is working on it too?
Possibly. That might be one person that I have reached out to him. He has got back to me. John has many times. And we'll see how that works out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Good channel.
Good channel. All these YouTubers are 10 times better than what we are, but they're finding the time to sit down with us, and that's going to be great. I think.
Well, they're paying it forward because once upon a time they were you.
Yeah, exactly.
And once upon a time, a long time ago, they were me. So.
Yeah. So it's going to be great. So that is the podcast, I believe. Max said he only wanted to do 1 hour.
I'm throwing him out.
He's
throwing me out. He needs to go get some beauty sleep. He's thinking about Challengers and Chieftains and Power. What's new? What's a new motorcycle for the engine? What's it called? PowerPlus. The PowerPlus
versus the Thunderstroke.
Yeah, and while he's sleeping, he's thinking about that like sheep.
Yes,
jumping over fences.
Send it into the comments, folks. What do you think I should look for in a new to me used bike? Should I be looking for a Thunderstroke, or should I be looking forward thinking and looking for a Challenger? I'm still looking for an Elite, but that might not be in the cards. So send those into your comments, folks.
Yep.
Like, subscribe, and share.
Exactly. Do them call outs for us. And then we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Maybe we might have a little show before then. I sometimes have little guest shows, so we'll see how it goes. Everybody have a good night. See you next week.